Now, 27 Sports with Veronica Rohrmoser.
It's no surprise a big part of why the Badgers are ranked 5th in the country. Frank Kaminsky, the senior, leads Wisconsin in scoring, assists, rebounds, and blocks. Now, tonight marks Aaron Rodgers' 100th career start. He said earlier in the week 100 makes him feel old, but he's ready for another 100. And tonight, potentially a brand new record. After tonight, the Badgers will leave Milwaukee, but they're not looking to go home just yet. They're hoping to trade in this not-so-spring-like weather for sunny Anaheim, California, as they look to punch their ticket to the Sweet 16. Now, the sale isn't actually final. The NBA still has to approve the sale. Those talks begin Thursday morning. Today in Maryvale, Arizona, temperatures were in the 80s. So it's easy to see why the Brewers report there for spring training. Wisconsin coming off a 9-4 season that ended in that disappointing loss in the Capital One Bowl back in January. They've also lost 13 starters, including much of their front seven on defense and one of the top all-time running backs in James White. I'm Veronica Rohrmoser at Big Ten Basketball Media Day in Chicago, where the expectations are that the Badgers already have this thing locked up. If you thought it was loud before, you haven't heard anything yet. We got another great Division II game for right now. We'll send it back over to you for tip-off. His teammates call him Captain America or Clutch. He's been around so long, he's the team grandpa, The Rock. But it seems like Josh Gosser has acquired more nicknames than he has career starts at Wisconsin, a record he broke last night against Northwestern. But I would offer up one more title, Iron Man. Well, it wasn't pretty, but the Packers remain unbeaten on this field, 7-0 now at home as they get the win last night over Atlanta. Now, as far as freshman Ethan Happ is concerned, lots of questions whether or not he would redshirt this season. I'm being told he will not dress tonight, but he has not made that decision yet. All right, Coach, you've had some struggles offensively in the first half. You got Sean McGee with 2 fouls early. What is it about Wisconsin Lutheran that's giving you so much trouble? Well, since Aaron Rodgers loves to spell, like, for instance, RELAX, the NFL thought he should add a few more letters to his season's repertoire, like MVP. Potosi has just 1 loss on the season, while Blackhawk has outscored their opponents 56-8 in the playoffs. Now, obviously, these two are no stranger to one another. The last time they met, the Chieftains narrowly pulling out a 29-22 victory. 6 former Badgers will be there, including Seahawks Russell Wilson, who will try to defend Seattle's national championship. Unfortunately, the Badgers didn't have to travel far to kick off their NCAA tournament run. We're practically in their backyard at the BMO Harris Bradley Center here in Milwaukee. It took 10 years, but Packers GM Ted Thompson has finally drafted his first ever Badger. We're just minutes away from meeting the new face of the Milwaukee Bucks with the start of this year's NBA draft. The Packers and Falcons take the field on Monday night, 2 division leaders right now, despite Atlanta's 5-7 record. Green Bay, though, is well aware those records mean nothing, and they're going to be ready for a battle. Mount Horeb-Barneveld coming off a big win last weekend over Waunakee. DeForest, a conference favorite and one of the most physical teams in the state. Well, Larry Drew's time in Milwaukee was brief, so perhaps it's fitting he kept his statement regarding his firing brief as well. Wisconsin will be able to rely on their experience with Big Ten teams like Iowa and Michigan State, who have similar styles of play to the Ducks. Here's something I don't get to say every day. The Brewers are in first place in the NL Central, riding a 5-game win streak on the road, including a sweep of Boston. The Badgers didn't just win, they made sure everyone knew just why they deserved a 2 seed. This is the Badgers' 3rd trip to the Sweet 16 in 4 years, but the Elite 8 might as well be called the elusive 8 for Wisconsin. They haven't been since 2005. Yeah, the long-awaited return of Brett Favre to Green Bay was short-lived. Number 4's arrival certainly sent a lot of buzz through the small town as he was here with Hall of Fame quarterback Steve Young for a charity event at his restaurant. There isn't a team in the Big Ten that takes care of the basketball better than Wisconsin. And no Big Ten team is better at taking the ball away than Minnesota. The Eagles typically have one of the most efficient offenses in the nation, but the Badgers' D held them to just 29% from the field. Just how big is tonight's matchup between Wisconsin and Duke? Well, ESPN SportsCenter is doing their entire show live from the Kohl Center floor, if that tells you anything. Well, preseason Big Ten Player of the Year, National Player of the Year candidate, and a front-runner to win the 2015 Wooden Award. What more can we say about Frank Kaminsky, except maybe number 2 draft pick? During ESPN's College Game Day this morning, Agers went around the table to do a little mock draft. And with the number 2 pick, Jay Williams took Kaminsky. The 7-foot center's live reaction was priceless. Melting out of his chair as the team cheered behind him. Great honor for Frank the Tank.
The puck is about to drop. Guys are going to take the ice. I'm going to get a seat. We'll have more tonight on 27 News at 10. For now, live in Madison, Veronica Rohrmoser, 27 Sports.